Magnetic Video Sports is proud to offer the following special video presentation.
Hi, I'm Bill Fleming, your host for Magnetic Video Sports. During the past 20 years or so, it's been my privilege to see many championship events and cover them on television. And during that time, I've met some very talented people. And that's why it's so much fun for me to be once again in the presence of the greatest pocket billiard player of all time, Willie Mosconi.
Oh, thank you very much, Bill. Awfully nice to be with you again.
You know, Willie's going to share with us some of the techniques and the secrets that made him a great champion. But, you know, before we get to the table, Willie, I would like to hear one more time the great story of how you got into pocket billiards.
Well, I'll tell you, it all started when I was about 6 years of age. My whole family were in show business many years ago. They were dancers, and that was what I was destined to be. My father used to take me to my uncle's dancing school for lessons, and after the lessons, I would have to wait for an hour or so before he picked me up. But over in the corner, my uncle had a pool table. So, due to the fact I had to wait for him, I used to go over and hit the balls around. Finally, one day, my uncle had some time to spare, so we come on over. He says, "Come on, kid, I'll play a game." So he busted the balls, and I ran the table on him. He says, "Do that again." So I think I won 10 or 11 before missing, but that was the start of a career. You know what he did? He went over to the Friars Club in New York and booked me for an exhibition over there. He was a friar, by the way, so it didn't cost him anything. After that, I kind of forgot about the game. Too young. But I got myself a job at the age of 16. One day I was on my way home from work and I passed a billiard hall that advertised $75 prize, the first prize. So I said, well, I used to play this game. Let's see what I could do. Well, I won the tournament. I won another one. Finally, at the age of 19, I qualified for the World Championship, and here I am.
And in that span of a great career, Willie Mosconi won 15 World Championships, more than any other player in history. Willie, we would like you to demonstrate for us the fundamentals, the strategy, some of those great shots, those trick shots, some of the shots that you planned in Hollywood. But I think the first thing to do is to go up to that table for us and explain the equipment.
I'd be most happy to, Bill.
So, Willie Mosconi then to talk about his techniques and his secrets on Willie Mosconi's World of Pocket Billiards.
This is the basic home-size table. 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. Table base is slate. Cloth is part wool, part nylon. Now you need a room at least 14 feet by 18 feet. 5 feet on either side of the table. And the reason for that is if you get a ball up against the cushion and you have to shoot off the cushion, you'll have enough room in which to do so.
How much does a table like that cost, Willie?
This table would cost somewhere around $1,500, but the price of the tables range anywhere from $500 to $15,000. So there's a great price range there, Bill.
It's got some interesting little designs on the sides, but I know that isn't just for show.
No, these are what we call diamonds. They're not in the shape of diamonds, but years ago this is what we call them. But one diamond corresponds with another.
Really then, Willie, this is a game of geometry.
All the way through, from one ball to the other, Bill. Most shots, you have to figure the different angles off the cushion and so on. And I would suggest the average player to get on a table and play the diamonds on the table because that will lead them from one part of the table to the other.
Let's talk a little bit about the grip, the stance, and some of those basics.
All right. Now let's get into it. First of all, where are you supposed to hold a billiard cue? Well, you should run it along your hand until you come to a point where the cue stick is straight across. Now this is what we call a balance point of a cue stick. This cue stick is balanced approximately here. Now you should hold it anywhere from 3 to 7 inches behind the balance point. Now in gripping this thing, you do not grip it like a baseball bat or a golf club. It should be held very loosely in your hand, so loosely that when you're swinging this thing, it will have a tendency to move in your hand. Now if you hold it tight, you're going to find by holding it tight, when you bring it back, you're going to be checking yourself right about here, and when you bring it forward, watch what happens. So if you can only swing the cue stick that far, how hard can you hit the ball? Hold it loosely, and to be surprised, much further back you can bring it, of course, forward. And the more of this business you get, the more power you'll develop into your stroke. Now the next step is to line the cue up with the cue ball and the object ball and stand facing your shot. Now a right-handed player takes a short step forward with the left foot, turn just a little bit to the right, and if he does, he's going to find that when he bends down, his head shall be right over that cue stick. He can look down and see exactly what he's doing. Now this is the same principle as firing a rifle. When you fire a rifle, what do? You get the rifle here, look down that barrel, sight your target, don't you? This is the very same thing. The only difference is you're holding your cue stick down low. This is the most important fundamental of the lot, the bridge. This controls 90% of your shots. Now to make a good bridge, you make a fist. Place the cue in between the thumb and the index finger, 6, 7, or 8 inches from the tip. Squeeze on it, but you don't squeeze on it so hard that you can't move the cue stick in your hand. Loosen up on the pressure, and you'll find that the cue will go through very easily, but at the same time, you'll be holding the cue stick firmly. Now when you place your hand on the table, make sure you turn it a little bit this way, away from you. That'll allow the cue stick to go through much easier. Now the next step is to lay the hand on the table with the heel of the hand resting there. Well, now all you have to do is spread the last 3 fingers of the bridge hand out on the table, rest the first 2 fingers on the knuckle of the 3rd finger. There's your basic bridge. Now to play a follow shot, for instance, to make the cue ball go forward, you must hit it on top, but you don't raise or lower the butt end of the cue. The left hand is the hand that does all the work. Now you raise the last 3 fingers of the bridge hand, the cue stick comes up. To draw a ball, you must hit the cue ball on the bottom. So you lower the last 3 fingers down on the table, and it brings the cue tip to the bottom of the ball. So this is the hand that controls the stroke, not back here, not the right hand. Now there'll be other shots where you'll have to use different bridges. Take a shot like this, with the cue ball close to the cushion and the object ball on out. This is where we use a rail bridge. All we do is place our hand on the table with the thumb underneath the hand, and we place the cue so that it runs along the thumb and the 3rd finger. Then we bring the 1st finger over to act as support. Now this is the basic bridge. See what I mean? Now there'll be other bridges where you'll have to shoot over a ball. For instance, if you have a shot like this, maybe there's another ball here. How are you going to make that shot? Well, what you do is raise your hand up on the table, and you try to bring your 1st finger and your last finger back of the 2 middle fingers. Then you bring your thumb up and form a V. And that way, you can shoot over the ball and kind of have a comfortable stance at the table, too. Now, there's one other shot that comes up a lot. We call it a mechanical bridge shot. Suppose you have a ball way down at the other end of the table with a cue ball in such a position that you can't reach it. Now, this is when we use what we call a mechanical bridge. Now, to use a mechanical bridge properly, you place it on the table and hold it with your left hand. Then you put your cue stick on top of well, you could put it on the side, either side, depending on the number of balls in front of you. But I always prefer putting it on the center opening there. It seems that my cue stick is more solid. Now, in gripping the cue stick, bring your hand around and hold it with these 3 fingers. Remember, you must hold this bridge down, but you do your shooting this way, not underneath. And this is the stroke that you use on it. Now, when you're stroking, follow through, ladies and gentlemen. You get the action on the ball when you do that. For instance, playing a follow shot. I'd like to demonstrate a follow shot. But before you can play a follow shot or a draw shot, you must use that chalk every time you shoot a shot. That stops you from what we call miscuing. But in stroking, follow through. Bowling, golf, and all the other sports, you get the action on the ball with a follow through. Same thing here. I'm going to demonstrate a follow shot for you. You watch the action of the cue ball and also notice how far I follow through after hitting the shot. Now here's the basic bridge. I'm going to raise those fingers, you watch the action. Look at the cue stick. Look how far I follow through. I'll demonstrate that once more. Follow shot. Standard bridge, raising the fingers, you watch the action. See it? Now to draw the ball, you reverse the procedure. You make your standard bridge, and here it is. Now you lower those fingers down on the table, and it brings your Q-tip to the bottom of the ball. Now the only reason that this ball is going to come back is because I'm hitting it on the bottom, and for no other reason. Now here it is. Center ball, lowering the fingers, you watch the action. Look at the cue stick. Now there's one more shot that comes up a lot during the course of a game. We call it a stop shot. Cue ball and the object ball are heading straight for a pocket. We want to make the cue ball stop right where the object ball is. Well, keep your cue level, hit this ball in the middle, hit that ball in the middle, and the cue ball should stop right there. Now, when you're stroking, ladies and gentlemen, try to stroke as softly as you possibly can. The table isn't so wide that you have to hit a ball hard to make it. If you hit it with a nice, easy stroke and the ball happens to hit a cushion, you're going to make the shot. Whereas if you hit it hard and it hits a cushion, you can't do it. You won't get away with it. Now, this is what I mean by a soft stroke. See what I mean? It hit that cushion, but it still went in. Now, I could take that same shot and hit it hard. Now, you watch what happens. You missed the shot, you see? In sighting your shot, actually, there's only one point on the object ball that you must hit in order to make it. And that's the one that's in direct line with the pocket. Now you take this shot here. Here's the contact point to make that ball in the corner pocket. In other words, my cue ball is going to have to come on up here and hit that ball approximately there in order for me to make this shot. Now, if I was shooting from this angle, you see what part of my cue ball would be hitting that spot on that object ball? In other words, every time your angle changes, you have to hit the object ball with a different part of the cue ball. Now, the spot on the object ball always stays the same. It never changes. But you must keep hitting that spot with different parts of the ball. Now, for instance, this is a straight shot, so you aim the center of the ball right down there. Now we go to one where you have to cut it a little bit. Now I have to hit it there, so I'm going to aim about 3/4 of the ball at that same spot. And this is the way it goes. And also try to hit them as soft as you possibly can. Now if I move over here, then I have to cut it a little bit more. But I still try to hit the same spot. English has a lot to do with a lot of shots. You take a shot like this. If you have a dead straight shot, and the shot is heading for the pocket, you're straight for the pocket. If you apply, for instance, right-hand English to the cue ball and sight that thing so that you're hitting it right straight for the pocket, you'll find that it will shy away from the pocket because of the effect of the English. In other words, right-hand English always throws the object ball the opposite way. Here it is again. Dead straight shot. Because I used English, I missed the shot. No, I hit that too good that time. Let's get it so that I'm hitting it dead straight. I allowed for it then. This is the shot. This is what happens all the time. Now, if you want to lengthen your angle, you can also use English. For instance, you want to make this ball, want to make the ball, cue ball, come on down this end of the table, then you apply right-hand English and try to make your ball and just follow through on your stroke.
You make it seem so easy.
It is easy.
You know, now that you've given us the fundamentals, the table, the cue stick, the balls, and so forth, I think what we ought to do is go to category number 2, which you are really an expert in, the banks, the kisses, and the combinations.
Bank shots are not too hard. Actually, when they're away from the cushion near the center of the table, they're fairly easy. to understand and find your spot that you have to hit in order to make them. Now, in this particular case, what you should do is find out where the ball lies. Now, it lies approximately 2 diamonds from this pocket. Now, all you have to do is bisect the angle. Take half the distance. 1/2 of 2 is 1. So that means that if you shoot into this first diamond, now you must shoot through the cushion, you should be able to make this bank very easily. Let's see if we can do it. All right, let's move it up a little bit. We'll move it up to where it's 1.5 diamonds from the pocket. Now, 1.5 diamonds, one half of 1.5 diamonds is 3/4, isn't it? So the contact point should be right about there. Now we'll move it up to where it's 1 diamond from the pocket. So that means the contact point is 1/2 diamond. Now, what happens when the ball is near the cushion? Now, all of a sudden, you can't figure that angle out because the angle is changed. But what you do is try to figure out what the angle would be from this corner pocket. Now, here, if you're shooting from here and you shoot into the 2nd diamond, for instance, that should lead you into the side pocket. See? Now, as you move up, you take half the distance. Now, in this particular case, with that ball here, we know the contact point is the 2nd diamond. So I'm going to shoot this ball right into the cushion. Let's see what happens. There it goes. Now let's move it up to about 1.5 diamonds from the pocket. So that means you have to parallel it, too. Let's put it 1.5 diamonds. Now that means from here into that angle, this is 1, 2, 3 diamonds from the pocket. The cue ball is lying 3 diamonds from the pocket, but the object ball is 1.5 diamonds. So that means if we shoot right straight through it, we should be able to bank it in that pocket. Now, everything depends on speed. Now here's another one. Get it up a little closer. Right off the 1st diamond. Now 1/2 of 2 will place the cue ball right here as 1. So that's just almost the same thing as what we had before. But now if you bring the cue ball down here below it, now all of a sudden you can't make the shot because the angle isn't there. So you gotta figure on where this cue ball is lying. This is the key thing. If you're here, you can make the shot. If you're here, you can't make the shot. Kiss shots. There's another shot that comes up quite a bit. You take a shot where 2 balls are together, they're frozen together. But we'll say you don't have any open shot. There might be 1 or 2 balls in the way here with the cue ball right about here. Now, this is what we call a kiss shot. A kiss shot is nothing but 1 ball caroming off another into a pocket. Well, in this case, as we have this thing set up, I can carom the 11 ball off to 10 because it's in a direct line with this pocket. Now you figure you lined up your cue stick with the center part of where those 2 balls come together. This is how you can tell where that object ball is going to go. Now this means that if I hit this 11 ball on the left-hand side, I should carom it off to 10 and make it in the pocket. All right, combination. We went into them before, but I like to demonstrate 3 and 4 ball combinations. Now here's one that's not going to be heading for the pocket. It's going to be heading for the left-hand side of the pocket with a 3rd object ball in the way. Now this combination can be made because the 10 ball in this case is hitting the 15 ball on the left-hand side. Now the combination is heading right for here. So in other words, we have to throw it right to make it. Well, you always hit the combination on the opposite side, like I tried to demonstrate before. Now, the 10 ball is hitting it on the opposite side, and you should be able to make this combination very easy. See what I mean? Now, you take that very same combination on the same angle, and we'll place a ball here with a cue ball here. Now, all of a sudden, you can't make this combination for one reason, because you can't hit the second ball, which is the key ball in any combination. You can't hit it on the opposite side. You want to make the 10 ball go right, so that means you have to hit the 15 ball on the left. But here's the cue ball, and there's another ball in the way, the 11 ball, except that it's hitting the 15 ball right straight ahead, which means I can't possibly make the shot. See what I mean? Practice drills. We always used to try to play long, straight shots because they were always the toughest shots. And I always used to start with a short one first, just to try to get my stroke lined up with the pocket. And this is the way we used to play them. We used to hit them hard, just so that we could get our cue stick going straight. Now, as we did this, we lengthened the shot, made it a little tougher. All right, let's make it a little longer. Further down. Now for the last one, I always used to place one down near the cushion and then shoot it, just to see if I had a stroke. This shot here will help your position play. This is where I'm going to try to pocket all 4 balls in that corner pocket, but I'm on such an angle that I have to keep playing position so I get on an angle for every ball that's on the table. Let's see if we can do it. That wasn't so hard. This is what we call a good position practice shot. So this is one where you have to control the cue ball. You have to draw back almost every shot, try to get a line on a little angle so you can make all 6 of those balls. Let's see if we can do it. If you can do that 5 or 6 times in a row, that sure would help your position play.
Well, now we've seen the shots. Let's see how they apply to an actual game. The game, 14-1. This was the game played during World Championship competition in pocket billiards. Willie, what was that championship game you played?
Well, it was a game where you ran 14 balls off the table, and then you left one out. We called that a break shot, and after the 14 balls were off, you tried to make that one left out, break the balls, and continue. Now, the whole secret to the game from that point on was to try to visualize this cue ball in different positions so that you could make most shots easy instead of hard. Once in a while, you would have to take a hard shot to make the rest of the shots easy. I've seen the time where I could break the balls with a break shot. They'd be all over the table, and I could tell you where that cue ball was going to wind up at the end of the frame within a 2-inch radius. This is how you had to think. And you also had to think that if you got into trouble, perhaps you could save a combination or a kiss shot just to get you out of trouble. But you had to keep thinking ahead all the time.
Willie, what was the championship game? How many points?
Well, on the old 5x10 tables, the championship game was 125 points. Then they shortened the table. They started to play on a 4.5x9 table, and they raised the game total to 150 points.
Well, now that you've explained what 14-1 is and how it's played, I think it would be great to have you, the champion, show us the strategy involved as you, let's say, you run them out. Would you do that for us?
I'd be most happy to. Now I would like to demonstrate the opening break shots when we played our championship matches. Actually, we always try to play a defensive safety. Try not to give the opponent any opening at all. Now, what we used to try to do was to hit the end ball. Well, the rules require that you drive 2 or more balls to the cushion plus the cue ball. But we always used to try to drive the end ball on the left-hand side to the cushion and back, and this one down to the bottom cushion and back, and bring the cue ball somewhere down in this area. Let's see if we can do it. This is the idea, right there. Now, that's a pretty tough shot from here. Now, what I like to do is to demonstrate some of the break shots that we used to have to play during the course of a championship game. Now, on most break shots, you have to play them differently. Now, you take a shot like this. Now, that was the opening, the last thing that I demonstrated was the opening break. Now, after you get into it, actually what you do is run 14 balls off the table, leave one out, then they re-rack the ball, then you try to make the one that's left out and continue your run. So we'll assume that I have run 14 balls, and this is the position I left myself in. Now, this is what we call a break shot. Now, here I'm going to play this shot with high right-hand spin, or English. And the purpose of it is to try to drive the cue ball through this cluster of balls and keep them all down at this end. But, of course, I have to make this one in this pocket first. Let's see if we can do it. Now, that's better. You see, it also kept my cue ball down in this position so that I'd have another shot. Now, here, I've got to be careful because the balls aren't scattered too well. So it looks like I'm going to have to play a combination on that ball and then try to get up above the balls after this next shot. Let's see what happens. All right, now I have to try to figure on scattering the balls, get them opened up a little bit more so I could clear them off the table. And I think I can do it by making this ball sticking there, then playing the red striped ball in this pocket, and then scattering the ball. That worked out all right. Now what do we want to do? Clear them off the table. Now my break shot for the following frame should be either one of these two balls. I can use either one of them. And I can also get position on them after I pocket this ball. So here I'm going to try to make the black ball in that pocket going down the table, pick that one up, come up and try to get almost straight on this one so I can pick one of the red one or the green one off. Through there. There we go. Now we're all set for the following frame. See, we did play around those two balls, and now we have a similar break shot to the last frame, but not quite, because I am on a different angle. Here, I'm going to have to hit this shot with more force, because I'm almost straight with it. So in other words, I have to force this ball into that pack to create more force, and I'm going to have to use a lot more spin than what I used on that last shot to try to hold the ball down here. It turned out all right, but I had to force that ball. Now it's a question of picking them off. Oh, I should play that one, but I can't reach it. Let's see if we can do it. Now I'm going to clear this fiber out of the way, and I'm going to try to come up and get straight on this ball here so I can put it in this pocket and then clear this 14 ball away into that pocket, and I might possibly use this 2 ball for a break shot for the following frame. Let's see if I can get straight on the 7 ball. Well, that's pretty close. Well, we did it. Now we have to clear the rest of the balls off the table. And how do you do that? Well, let me see. That's not bad. I have to go down and get that one off, too. Don't stop. There we have another perfect break shot.
Willie, how many in your, let's say, best day did you ever run at one time? How many balls?
My highest run was 526.
How long did it take?
About 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Did you miss?
No, I quit. Got tired. Just couldn't go on anymore.
Willie was also the consultant for The Hustler, a motion picture with Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. He spent 4.5 months as a consultant for that motion picture, during which time he taught Paul Newman how to shoot pool, the Hustler way. Well, now we come to the really fun part of pocket billiards, the trick shots. Nobody in the world does them better or is more inventive than Willie Mosconi. So this is really a treat for all of us.
Get a shot like this during the course of a game, don't be afraid of it. It's an easy shot. Play right in the corner pocket, you can't miss it. Now, if you can't get away with that one, you bank it back into this pocket. Now, this is a legitimate shot, and this is the shot Paul Newman made in the motion picture, The Hustler. Let's see if we can make it. There we go. Now, short masse shot. This is one where we try to make a ball in this pocket. The cue ball goes part way up the cushion, comes back again, and makes the second ball. I'm going to try to make both of these balls with a 1 shot. Here's one you can rip the cloth on. He's going to elevate the cue, try to hit the cue ball on the right-hand side, low, hit it hard, Cue ball should go up the cushion, come back, and make the blue ball. I'm going to try to give you a demonstration of a lazy man racking the balls up again. Playing the yellow ball. Yellow ball back into the pack. That should get it. This is the lazy man's rack. He's going to hit the one ball with right hand English, hit the third diamond on the left-hand side. It should hit 3 cushions and come back into the pack. Now we're going to play a shot. Jackie Gleason made in the motion picture The Hustler. This is one where, well, they were playing what we call a bunch of safeties. That is, they were trying to stop the other guy from making a shot. And finally, this situation developed with Gleason shooting. Now, Gleason called the 4 ball, this purple ball, out of the pack, back into this pocket. This ball, right here, back into this pocket. Now, let's see if we can make it. Purple ball. There it is. Shoot the cue ball into the left-hand ball of the first 2. Now, the one on the right will get out of the way. The one he shoots into will go in, hit the 9 ball. The 9 ball will hit the 4 ball and send it into the pack. Now, he's going to get three kisses around the pack, and the ball will head right back to the pocket. Now we come to a shot. Well, you saw the shot that Gleason made. Now we come to one that Paul Newman made. Now, they played 2 different times. And the second time that they played, Gleason started the game off by breaking the balls. Now, the cue ball, the white ball, wound up down at the other end of the table, and this cue ball was stuck behind a cushion so that Newman couldn't see or hit any of the balls. Yet he called this 4 ball, in this case, the purple ball, out of the pack into this pocket. Now, let's see if we can make it. Purple ball, right-hand pocket. The way you play the shot is to aim the cue ball about a half a diamond past the side pocket. The cue ball comes off the cushion, banks into this 4 ball. Now, the 4 ball caroms off the ball next to it, hits the 5 ball next to it, and it caroms off into the corner pocket. Gleason, Newman, they get credit for all these shots. Here's one that I made. We call this one the machine gun shot. Now, this is one where we line a bunch of balls along the cushion. And then the cue ball, the white ball, is supposed to run along the cushion, touching every ball or nearly every ball before making that blue ball in the pocket. And as the cue ball runs along the cushion, it kind of makes a sound that resembles the chatter of a machine gun. Playing the 2 ball, the blue ball, in the pocket. The way to play this shot is to hit the cue ball with high right-hand English. Hit it very hard. It should hit in between those 2 balls. And then it will carom along the cushion and make contact with most of those balls along the cushion before making the last one in the pocket. Now for a demonstration of a drunkard. A drunkard going home early in the morning. I would say about 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, the balls I'm setting up right now at the present, these balls are going to represent lampposts. And in this case, the maroon ball will represent the drunkard. This one, right here, is the drunkard. The rest of those balls represent lampposts. Is going to try to get home in that side pocket without touching any of the lampposts. Now let's see if we can do it. Playing the maroon ball in the side pocket. The 7 ball, maroon ball, side pocket. Right straight home. These balls in front of the side pocket, there's 4 rows of them, are placed at an angle. Now the object here is to hit the 5 ball first. The 5 ball hits the 13 ball, sends it forward. It will hit the first ball, first row, and open up the balls. In the meantime, the cue ball hits the 5, caroms off, hits the 7, and sends it right straight into the side pocket. Oh, well, anybody can make these shots, folks. Here's one that you can set up, play, have a lot of fun with. First of all, you get all the balls, and you kind of make a semicircle of the balls from the cushion on out. If I can get all the balls together. You make a semicircle of the balls from the cushion on out. Now you'll find that if you place a ball in the center of this group and you shoot that ball right smack into the cushion, well, it can't go through these balls. It has to bounce off of them. So in this case, should come all the way around and back into this pocket. Now you shoot the maroon ball in this case in one direction, it turns around and comes back in another. Playing the maroon ball, the 7 ball, back into this pocket. Can't miss the shot. Try to make 6 of them this time with the 1 shot. Don't know whether I can do it or not, but I'll give it a try. Well, that won't go. That's a little better. Might make it. All right, the object here is to try to make this orange ball in this pocket, the green ball over here, red striped ball into this pocket, purple striped ball in that corner, the blue ball over there, and I hope to come around the table and make this one last. All 6 of these balls, 1 shot. Here you have to play this shot with high left-hand English, but you must hit the object ball, the 5 ball, 1/3 of the ball on the right. And then the cue ball goes, hits the first cushion, goes 3 cushions, comes around and makes the ball in the corner pocket. You saw the short masse shot. This is what we call the long masse. Now we're going to try to make a ball over in that pocket. Of course, another ball in this pocket. And if I can get past the side pocket, we'll go up the table and make that one. Now, all 3 of these balls with the 1 shot, I hope. Now, here you have to elevate your cue almost straight up and down. And you must hit the cue ball with low right-hand English. And you must hit the shot hard. Here's another old-timer. We're going to try to jump a ball out of the triangle up into that corner. Let's see if we can do it. There we go. You know, it's tough to make this thing go in one direction, turn around and come back in another. Yet it can be done. Now you take this shot. This white ball is going to be stuck behind 3 balls. Now we're going to try to make the white ball go up past this triangle, swing around the triangle, come back and make this ball in this pocket. Playing the purple ball in the pocket, I hope. There we go. We made it. This is a shot where you can very easily rip the cloth. This is one that you have to play with the extreme low right-hand English. You must shoot that ball on a little angle toward the left. Hit it hard. The cue ball should slide up ahead of the pack or the rack, swing around it, come back and make the ball in the corner pocket. A 6-ball shot. 6 balls in 6 different pockets with 1 shot. Incidentally, this is a very easy shot. All you have to know is where to place the 2 center balls, and then you make combinations out of the balls into the corner pockets. Six balls, 6 different pockets with a 1 shot. I hope. I've got to check this one first. Ready? All right. I'm going to try to make 6 balls in 6 different pockets with 1 shot. Ball in every pocket on the table. This 6-ball shot is played on a 4x8 table. The 2 center balls should be placed halfway between the diamond and the side pocket, and the balls should be lined up with the inside of the corner pockets on both sides. But the shot should be hit very hard with the center ball. All right, we're going to try to make this black ball come out of this cluster, jump over the rack, jump over the balls, and I hope jump into this corner pocket. First of all, you place 4 balls, approximately a diamond and a quarter from the corner pocket on the right-hand, lower right-hand cushion. Now you place them in more or less a diamond shape. Then you hit the first ball of that cluster, and the ball will come out, bank off the cushion, go across the table, hit the rack, jump over the rest of the balls and into the pocket. This is going to be a 3-ball shot here, a 4-ball shot. We're going to try to make this red ball, side pocket, red striped ball in the corner. Then the cue ball is going to go up the cues, and it's going to make contact with the ball that I'm going to be placing on the cue sticks. I have a sort of a matchstick here. I'm going to place this matchstick on the cue sticks to hold the ball, and then it's going to roll down, and the cue ball is going to try to catch up with this blue ball and make, well, the 10 ball goes in the side pocket, and the cue ball is going to come down behind the 2 ball and try to knock it in the pocket too. So let's see if we can do it. I'm going to try to make 4 balls with 1 shot. Yellow ball on the side, the blue ball in the corner, this 3rd ball, the red ball in this pocket, purple ball over there. Now all 4 of them with the 1 shot. You hit your cue ball in the center, hit in between the second and the third ball, hit it hard. Now the 1, 2, and 3 with the one shot. We're going to try to make the yellow ball in that pocket, the blue ball in this pocket, this ball here, the blue one in that pocket, and the red ball right there. All three of them, one shot. Hit your cue ball with high right hand English. Hit the blue ball or the 2 ball a little bit to the right of center. It should carom off, go into the left-hand pocket. In the meantime, it sends the yellow ball forward into the right-hand corner. The cue ball caroms off, hits the 3 ball, and puts it in the right-hand pocket. There we go.
Well, truly an amazing demonstration by the greatest of all time, Willie Mosconi, and something for you to work on, let's say, in your leisure time. Willie, come on back and talk just a little bit about, let's say, gamesmanship in championship pocket billiards. Was there any, I don't know, what you might call sneaky little moves involved when you were playing for the title with any of your competitors?
Most of them had their little tricks, Bill. I remember Andrew Ponzi and Ralph Greenleaf and people like that, Benny Allen and so on. With Benny Allen from Kansas City, former world champion, every time you went to shoot and he was facing you, you were shooting toward the corner where he was sitting, he would take out a handkerchief and he'd start to wipe his bald head, and I swore to God, that handkerchief looked like a tablecloth. It was so big. But he never did it unless you were shooting toward him and the game got down toward the end. Another one was Irving Crane. He had feet that big. And every time it seemed like you went to shoot a critical shot toward him, up those feet would come one of those things, you know. So I finally got even with him. At the end of the frame, after you were on 14, they had to re-rack the ball, so I used to go over and start to put powder on my hand. But I make sure they get the powder right over where his feet were. And I miss a few times. I give him a good powdering, in other words. Ralph Greenleaf, he used to have a habit of leaving the room. If you were shooting, he would leave the room and go to the men's room and then come on back. It was sort of a dilatory tactic, you know. They'd do anything to try to get you to miss.
You didn't have any little tricks?
Well, yeah, I did, really. If they got too close to me, I would trip them.
Willie, your career spans so many years. Can you go back in your own mind and think about, let's say, the greatest trick shot you ever did?
Yes, it was making 16 balls with one shot. 16 balls. The cue ball went in, too. I made all 15 numbered balls, plus the cue ball.
When did you do that?
I did that back about 1949 in California for one of the old Pete Smith shorts.
Oh, sure.
Remember Short Subjects?
Mm-hmm.
He's got that, and he also has me jumping the ball from one table, a distance of 10 feet onto a second table, and making 6 balls with one shot on the second table.
Now, come on.
That was the end of
No
it.
tricks? I mean, you actually did that with no trick photography?
Oh, no, that was a legitimate shot. And by the way, Bill, that was the end of all the trick shot shorts. After we did that one, what else could they do? You know, that was it.
Well, we're glad that you could share these experiences with us as we have the world of pocket billiards of Willie Mosconi.
Certainly nice to be with you again, Bill. Pleasure.
AccuStats Video Productions presents from the Roseland Ballroom in New York City, the U.S. Open Straight Pool Championships. Along with Jeremy Jones, I'm Bill in Kedona, and this is going to be about third round action. Two players slated to play in the feature match, Tony Robles from Brooklyn, New York, and Minwan Chin, I believe it is. No, Minwei Chin.
From Taipei, Taiwan.
That's why you're here, okay, Jeremy? Yes, Minwei Chin from Taipei, Taiwan. And yesterday, Chin played Reyes in a match, I believe it was on table number 4. The match was pretty close almost the entire way, and then I think Chin took control of the match about 3/4 through the way and ran out on Reyes. And that's how he's gotten to where he is today.
And he played very well against Oliver Wortman his first round, defending champion he beat.
And Tony Robles, his opponent, well, he I think is playing about as well as anyone in the tournament. I think he has a run of over 100 balls in two
He's
of his
tied for the
matches.
high run, 126 with 2 other players.
And I believe when he played Jose Garcia, he had a large run as well.
Right. Yeah, he did.
You know, so he's really focused and playing well.
Well, if you notice, Tony's lost a little weight. He's in shape. He's playing good. He's playing as good as I've ever seen him play. Even though it's straight pool, he looks confident.
I noticed they had a weight room, an exercise room at the hotel. I think I'm going to go in there tomorrow because I've been doing actually a little bit of exercise.
What, you got a game?
Does it show? Does it
you
show?
got a game?
But Tony looks great, you know.
Yeah,
he really looks great. And obviously playing well.
He looks confident. This table I've watched about 3 or 4 matches, and for some reason or another I've seen a dead ball come away from the break 2 or 3 out of those times.
Safety's allowed.
That break, I think it's going to give up a shot.
No, that break did give up a shot.
Right.
And he broke the balls poorly, I would think, because I've seen players break the balls on this table and just about as perfect as you can break them. That particular time, a lot of balls opened up, and if Chin's able to put down the first shot, he may start running some balls here, and maybe a lot of them. It's very, very important, as you well know, Jeremy, to really get out of the gate quickly when you're playing straight pool, particularly when you're playing an upper echelon player. And I do believe, Minwei Chin is an upper echelon straight pool player, at least.
Sure. And
He seems to be.
And not too much bothers him, really. I like his demeanor at the table. He's had some close matches, and when it got crunch time, he ran a lot of balls. I think he ran 60-something and out one match, and or 50-something and out. And
5 ball.
doesn't sound too tough, but in pressure situations, that's not easy.
It certainly is, and there's a lot to be said about players that can keep their composure. I mean, it's so important to keep your composure, and particularly in adverse situations, and also when you're playing great players like he did last night in Reyes. He kept his composure, and when he got an opportunity, he took advantage of it.
Yeah, I commentated the last match here between Thomas Ingert and Jim Rimpey, and I haven't seen a better match played between 2 players yet. I think Rimpey missed 1 ball, and Ingert never made a mistake.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Ingert's name. Rimpey was one of my choices to win the tournament because he's playing extremely well. He's been practicing an awfully lot lately. And I was sitting on the other side of the room last night, and a gentleman come up to me and said, that fellow over there ran almost 500 balls one time. Now, that's hard for me to believe that someone can run 500 balls. Because that's just more balls than I've heard anyone run, with the exception of Willie Mosconi.
Right.
All of a sudden, this Thomas Ingert from Germany, he's running 500 balls.
Boy, he was pretty smooth his last match. I believe he could have ran 150 and out. He made a break shot, came off the end rail about the first diamond, and scratched 1 rail on the side off the end rail. And that's the only mistake. And that's not even a mistake. That's just like something you can't foresee. And he played great, flawless pool.
In the meantime, Minwei seems to have gotten himself in a little bit of trouble.
Sure has.
He's taking a look at the 13 now, and he's trying to determine whether or not he can see the edge of the 13. If he can see the edge of the 13, he's going to play it in the lower right-hand corner.
He kind of plays like a straight pool player. For a young man, you don't see too many young men stand up off the cue. Of course, he's tall. He's one of the taller Asian pool players I've ever seen.
Yes,
What is he, about 6'4"?
He looks pretty tall. I don't know exactly how tall.
He's taller than I am. I'm about 6'2½".
In the meantime, he overcut to 13. Robles now his first opportunity at the table with an offensive shot.
And it's fairly easy, the 10, but it's a first shot a little elevated over the 12. It's not a hanger.
No, it certainly isn't. You know, the 12 balls there is going to hamper somewhat his bridge hand. It's going to also diminish the accuracy of this shot somewhat. When you elevate, you just don't have the same accuracy.
Yeah, he's an all-ball fouls. That's on your mind, touching that ball.
Well, fortunately for Robles, he doesn't have to elevate, but...
Ooh, wow.
Foul.
That's another one of them
from Mr. Robles.
shots you can't.
Yeah, unexpected.
Right. I think he tried to run the cue ball into the 15, but coming across and missing a 15, you don't expect a scratch with the 13 laying right in the hole.
No, it has to hit the exact area right behind the 13. There's not much of an area there to hit in order for the cue ball to find the pocket. Unfortunately, Tony, a little ill-fated in that regard, finds himself sitting back in the chair, midway back at the table.
Yeah, it's of course, if he had pocketed the 15 coming across, he wouldn't have had much of a shot either, but he would still be at the table.
Chin tried to brush the 3 on the way down table, opening up the 3 from the 9. He would have accomplished actually 2 things with that shot if he would have.
I think here there's an easy position on the 3. I don't know if I would have ran into that, because the 3 position is pretty easy, and if you come a little long, you got the 14.
14 ball.
And you leave the ball for the break, but he's not too worried about that. He's got the 2. He's got plenty of options.
3.
Yeah, he would like to pocket the 15. That's a ball that needs to be pocketed.
I thought he would pocket that now, maybe. Oh, he'll shoot the 10. Open the 11, then the 15.
10 ball.
What's his key ball here, Billy, to the 2? The 2's his break or the 3, but I kind of like the 2. Ooh.
I kind of like. Well, I'm surprised he didn't shoot the 15. I like the key ball being either the 4. He's going to probably use the 15 as his key ball. He's going to probably play 4, 11 into the side, and 15 come around the 2.
Yeah.
In that fashion. But he could have gone so many different ways.
Right.
The way the balls were positioned, it was all the balls on the table now would have been decent key balls had he played his pattern differently, but looks like that's the way he's chosen to play it. 11 to the side, draw back an inch or so, 15 in the corner with a natural 1 rail angle to the 2.
Right. And well, I like
8.
Not much cue ball movement there.
right, and I like the combination of these players. Both good 9-ball players and very knowledgeable straight ball players. So in certain situations, hopefully this match will see some really nice shots.
Well, I'm sure. Well, you know, Robles, as you said, you know, quality 9-ball player, and Chin I don't know too much about. As a matter of fact, this is the first opportunity I've had to watch him play.
I've seen him play a few times. He's a good player. He's not somebody you'd like to draw, that's for sure.
I don't think I've seen too many people around here I'd like to draw.
But every
Except
time they see you, they see someone they'd like to draw.
I wouldn't mind playing Fleming, but other than him, not too many people around here I'd like to draw.
There's probably a few of these referees you wouldn't like to draw.
Thank you. It's my master plan's working perfectly.
Right. So he's just going to hit this, come 1 rail. Oh, he slid below. See, I see a lot like Rempe. He comes off the top of the stack, 1 rail over to the center of the table on that shot. And I really like that shot a lot better than coming low. Even though you got to be a little unfortunate not to get a shot.
I don't think he has too much. Maybe the 14 on the side, but that's not an easy shot. You know, it's not an easy shot. You know,
Right.
Certainly he's not going to shoot the 5, but he'll probably shoot the 14 on the
This is the only
side.
ball he really has a nice clean shot at that he's got to be a big favorite to make. This is a ball I just go ahead and shoot. Don't roll it. There you go.
11.
That's the 9-ball kind of stroke. You know, he can let it stroke out a little bit. Some of them guys, I've seen some of the more
7 ball.
defined straight pool players, they just kind of roll the ball in and roll the ball in. But I think it's a lot easier to dog it. A lot easier to feel the pressure.
He's going to go into the balls here.
Splitting the 12 and 9,
Yeah,
right?
if he splits the 12 and 9, I think the 15 will come across
And
for a
11,
possible
everything.
break.
Well, no, he's going to hit it too hard for that. Oh, no, he didn't. Good call, Billy.
13.
But the problem he has, Jeremy, is the 13 and the 4 at the foot end of the table, resting near that bottom cushion.
He's
and
all
also,
right.
and also now the 3 and the 15 are tied up, but the 6 ball's a good lead ball to shoot the 3.
And open the 4-13, really,
Well, he could do that as well.
when he shoots the 3.
But most importantly, he's going to have to play some type of position off of the 1. He's going to be jacked up over the 10 and the 12. He's going to have to put a good stroke on it, maybe go up table for the 9.
Yeah, the 9's, with the 5 being there, the 9, you don't mind having a little distance because it's,
14.
like I said, these are all good shooters here and good ball pocketers.
Now, he still has to deal with the 11, 10, and 12, and also the 4 and 13. And, it's not like a gimme proposition here because he's got to break up 2 clusters and
I
his
don't know about that.
opportunities.
I don't think I would. I think I would have taken the 9 out of the way there. But he wanted to go ahead and get the 6.
15.
I think shooting the 3. He's going to look at the 3 for the 4-13. And I'd like to bet he gets a shot to break up the 11 and 12 with the 4-13.
6 ball.
Can't panic in this game.
That's a good angle. Now, if he doesn't have the angle to go into the 4-13, he'll probably end up going into the 12 and 10 on the same shot here. He'll try to go into the 4 and 13 with a little bit of high tip of right.
Because he doesn't want to. No, I don't think so. I think he's just going to go into him and stay down there for a shot on goal.
See, a tip of right brings you into those balls. If he doesn't have the angle to go into the 4-13,
well, that tells me that the 4-13 is a pocketable combination in the corner pocket.
I don't think so, Jeremy. I think the angle that he had on the 3 precluded him from being able to go into the 4, so he opted to just go into the balls on the foot spot.
Well,
18.
He's going to have to do something with that 4 and 13. I don't believe it's available. The combination's available.
you may fall on it here, but
No, he's on
from
it
that
now.
angle, you really don't have to get a shot
What are you going to do? I
when
mean,
you break them.
what are you
I
gonna
thought
do?
he could do it with the 3 personally. See what I mean? You don't really have to from that angle, but from the other angle where the 3 was, you almost guarantee yourself a
Oh,
shot.
absolutely, and he probably would have gone into them if he had the correct angle. I thought he was laying too thin on it. But I do believe the 13-4
It's possible.
is possible, yeah.
Hitting the bottom cushion, throwing
Yeah.
the ball up.
I'm sure it is,
Well, he's,
especially the way he played position.
yeah, it must be wired. He's gotten through the rack. He had a little trouble here and there, but he's gotten through the rack. That's the key of this game, I think. Getting through them racks when you're a little out of line and everything, and then when you get some ones that you stay in line and open balls, guaranteeing yourself the run.
Yeah, I like the way he handled himself there. He did have 2 clusters he had to deal with, and it wasn't really early in the rack. There was only about 8 or 9 balls left on the table, so he didn't have that many opportunities to open up 2 clusters. I thought he did a fine job. Even though he tied up the second cluster after hitting it, like you said he might. He was fortunate enough to end up with a combination.
Right.
And he deserved it because I thought he played the rack well. And at the end of, I think, the second rack is chin 28, Robley's -1, chin on a run of 23 balls.
Right. And pretty fortunate making a mistake that early and Robles scratching. It's amazing how the tides can turn off one little incident in this game.
That's exactly right. And they can also turn the other way as easily. And Robles has been playing extremely well, and if given the opportunity, I look for him to do well with it.
Right. See, I see Siegel. He just follows this, chips 4 or 5 out, and works from there. Oh, that spread nice.
Very nicely. On this table, the balls seem to spread much more, easier than on the other tables. I think it's attributable to the lights.
Right.
The lights dry the balls, and therefore there's no humidity out there. When you hit the stack, they just spread open much easier.
Sure. Who do you like to win the event from here?
I don't know. I see that almost anyone can win it. All these guys out there play really well. Like the Suitcase playing extremely well. He's run a few hundreds. Robles has run a few hundreds. Engert, how can you discount him?
I think he's one of the favorites after watching him play.
And Ray has run a 90 and out on Siegel, but he's got his hands full with Bob Hunter right now.
Right. Well, and Mizrak, I was talking to Mizrak, and Mizrak told me that out of all the guys that he doesn't know to be straight pull players, that he really liked Engert's game as much as any of them.
Well, how could you not? after hearing that he's ran 500 balls or 497 balls or 77.
Right. Well, what he's doing here,
playing great here.
He's going to pick off a few balls, then get to the 9 where he can open the rack. Doesn't that look like the shot, Bill?
Yeah, it looks like the 9's the ball to get on because it's going to open up the cluster.
He may not open it up as much as he would think if he hits the 11 solid. He might just open of course, the 11 may not go very far. It depends.
No, he's not going to get much action here because of the position of the balls, unless he can hit the 3.
Right. If he can graze the 3 going in, he should see. I didn't think the balls were really going to break as much as he thought.
Yeah, he also was aware of that, so therefore he's probably going to use the 4 to loosen up the balls now, because he's
or the 12 underneath the rack there. Although coming underneath late in the rack, you a lot of times don't leave yourself the break shot because you push the balls up more.
So I think he's looking pretty good off the 4. He'll be going into the 3 and 11, and then he'll have the 12 down here for an insurance ball. And he'll be pushing the balls to the side as well. So therefore.
So you like slow rolling
Oh
this?
yeah, I like it, and using the 4. And if he can split the 11 and the 3, I think he'll be okay here.
Yeah, and he might end up coming with a break shot here.
Right.
Nice break.
I went to the top, which is just as good, but he's really hasn't.
Time to take the 2 off the table, don't you think, Billy? Go ahead and let's work down here. Get us a break shot.
Yeah, he's going to take
12.
the 2.
The 12's the break
Yeah,
shot.
right. The 12 with either the 3 or the 8 lead being the lead ball to the break.
Right.
We'll take a look at it as he runs the table to find out which ball he figures are lead for the lead ball, and that.
Well, it looks like he's pinned himself to where I would just shoot the 11, come with a little right English, come above the 5, and play those 3 balls how they fit accordingly. Instead of drawing that ball, but that's just me.
I don't know why. Well, anyway, he's gonna shoot it this way, which is just as good.
Right, but I mean, I would rather not have to draw my ball right like there.
I saw another pattern that was available that was a lot easier than what he did.
Right.
He has to make sure he gets on top of the 3. He doesn't want to have to cut the 3 to the right.
Right. And he's fine.
Well, he'll go to the side cushion, it looks like, and.
Or just cheat it and punch down a little bit. Either way. It's a little deceiving from here.
Ooh, he just
Didn't get quite as much angle as I would have liked.
Okay, now I think with this shot, Jeremy, you have to go around the rack, 3 cushions.
Off with a little left English?
I think so. I think he's got parallel to the 12 ball, and that particular shot is effective.
Yeah, but I think, and you're talking about hitting it with speed.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to hit it with speed.
Well, I think you bring in, even though, these are top-notch players, I like getting a little more angle where I know I'm going to make the ball. Having to shoot this ball with left English and pump it in,
Yeah, I think he's going to...
It makes it missable.
Cue ball this way.
Right.
And then out, like so. I think that's the way the shot should be played.
I think he's doing that, but...
Well, he went the other way. You see, he went the other way.
Got
The
a kiss.
problem with going the other way is that you can get a kiss like he did and get stuck in the back of the rack. But if you put
And I've
the
seen
other
you
English
scratch
on
cross
it,
side before, too.
yeah, and if you put the other English on it, there's nothing in your route.
Right.
It's relatively free around the stack. And I see a lot
expect
of
him to
great
make this,
straight
though.
pool players shoot it in that fashion. Not Midway at that time. Perhaps next time he will. And nevertheless, he was able to put the 2 down, and he's still at the table. He's on a run of 39 right now, and looks like he's playing well.
Yeah, he's just got to get where he can open a few of them balls up. He wants to shoot the 4. See, I would have probably picked the 5 and then shot that side pocket ball, because whenever he shoots the 10 and opens the cluster, obviously, he doesn't want them balls to where... of course, he's going to be very unlucky not to get a shot. He might do that anyway.
Well, he's got a lot of options out there.
Right.
Look at here, the 3... even the 3-6, that might be straight into the pocket there. You can make the 5.
He's going to shoot the 5 and open him. I don't like that.
Well, if he hits the 7, he might scratch off
Or
the
the
7
13.
here.
42.
I think he elected not to shoot the 10 because he felt like that would be his break ball. He's not. He's going to worry about it. He's going to run all these balls and use the 10 as his break.
Yeah, you really can't argue with him there. And it's
But,
all his way of choosing which route to take, because he does have a nice break ball in the 10.
Right. I've talked to a lot of straight bull players about that, and a lot of them tell me that you'll
43.
you'll create a break shot. I mean, you're going to make another break shot.
Yeah, but you know, if you can figure your way around the rack without moving the break shot, then why not?
Sure.
And worry about it a little later on if you run into a problem.
Right.
Because the tempo will always be there to break up the cluster that you haven't broken if it turns out that way.
I guess he seems to.
14 ball.
He's going to shoot the 1 and after the 14.
45.
You know, frankly, he doesn't even need to break them up. All he needs to do, if he would have got straight on the 1, shoots the 1 in the lower left, shoots the 6 in the lower right.
I don't think he could obtain that angle. Yeah. See, this it's a little funny here because the 3 and the 13, the 10's kind of blocking the exact angle you want to fall on those 2 balls.
That's true.
But nevertheless, he's like you say, he's got plenty of options.
Well, he can go across table here and fall on the 13.
Right. But you don't. I mean, with 4 balls left, you don't want to have to shoot this little shot, feather it in. It's pretty much a hanger. But so now he's got to shoot. Now he's got to run into the 3.
Right. Now he can finesse this and play position for the 3 in the same pocket.
Sure, but that's a little touchy.
He's falling a little thin on the 3, so it looks like he's going to have to go up the table and then back down for position on the 15. And if he tries to finesse this shot, he may run into trouble here. So I think he's got to go ahead and stroke this one.
Yeah, up and down though.
Right.
When your nerves get going, you can go right back in that hole.
Well, you increase the accuracy of the shot when you shoot it in that fashion. And look at the speed that he hit it with. It looks almost ideal, but he's falling a little short of the mark. And it looks like he's going to have to go 3 cushions around the 10. This isn't going to be easy because he's got to judge the speed of the shot as well as the direction.
And he's not got to. He can't come across and rub the 10 any kind of way. I mean he's drawing it. That's
well, he's not going to get the results that he wanted.
I like running the cue ball there. I think your touch. I think your touches can be a lot better that way.
Yeah, if he had the angle to do that, to go 3 cushions around the 10, that's what I would have opted to do. I'm surprised he didn't do it, but evidently he must not have had that angle.
Right.
He's on a run of 51. He's got 56 balls. Roby's still in the chair. Owes 1.
You know, I see a lot of. I see a lot of guys shoot this break shot and come away with nothing, with absolutely nothing.
Well, you're going to have to hook the cue ball into the stack, it looks like.
Well, the only way you're going to come away with a shot is if you catch the 12. If you don't catch the 12, you're not going to come away with a shot because you can't hit enough speed to open the rack. There, he caught the 12 and still coming away with nothing.
Let's take a look at the 5 ball. That looks like it's reasonably close. It may not go.
No, it's to the low rail.
It is?
Yeah, it's to the low rail.
Okay, he's
actually, to get stuck in the stack like that, he's pretty fortunate that nothing opened up. He might be able to skim the ball near the spot. What's that, the 12?
Yeah.
Put him up in the upper hand pocket and really leave Tony nothing. He's looking at a 3-ball combination, maybe.
Well, it looks like the 7 and the 11 are actually lined up pretty straight into that corner pocket.
Yeah, but from up in the corner, having to shoot a 3-ball combination with the 6, I would have to go look at it and see if my opponent's going to shoot that shot.
Well, he's probably going to do what you suggested that you would do, or he should do.
Right.
But that 3-ball combination, I don't think it's as difficult as you think.
I think it's pretty tough. I think if you put him up there on that rail, and like he kind of messed things up.
He even took it away. I don't know if he took it away or not. Now he can shoot the 12
I don't like that because now he can cue the ball. See, I like putting him right up there in that top left-hand pocket and putting him on the rail.
Well, the reason he didn't put him up there is because he was afraid Robles was going to shoot the combination. Obviously, it's laying a lot better than what we can see from our vantage point.
Well,
matter of fact, Robles has a chance to make it off the 12 here.
Right. I didn't see a definite route there of containing him from shooting that shot, leaving him in the middle of the table. You know, these pool players are very creative. They can find a way to make balls. But you take it where they only can hit the top half of the ball and they're 7 or 8 feet away.
He's going to shoot it off to 6 right now. If he can do that, then Minway really made a mistake.
Sure.
Because the reason he hit the cue ball so hard was to get it away from that side of the table and eliminate that possibility of the 6, 7, 11 combination. Well, he got it over to the right of the table, but not enough, and he's left him way off the rail. He's a favorite to make this.
Sure. If it goes, he's a favorite to make it. Yeah. I didn't like leaving the cue ball in the middle of the table. It didn't matter if he was trying to take it away or not. Because, first off, if you do take it away, you leave him in the middle of the table, he's going to be able to play safe so much better. And maybe trap you, maybe put you back in a situation. What do you think about Efren's straight pool game?
Well, I think that Efren plays pool in general so well that he can make the adjustments to play any game as he's playing it.
And learn from other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I watched him play straight pool, I believe it was in 1996 in Portland, Maine, and he improved as he was playing the game, not the match, the game he was improving. His speed changed from the first ball to the 80th ball, a lot. Where it takes some people like many matches to improve their game.
Right.
It just took him like maybe 50 or 60 or 80 balls, and you can see the difference in his play. And the only reason he's not playing as well now in this tournament is because he hasn't played straight pool since '96. It's going to take, and it's totally, he's not, he don't want to understand the game that well to just go to the table and instinctively play it well.
Sure.
It's going to take him a couple matches to get back in stroke. And the longer he stays in the tournament, on the loser side, the better chance obviously he has to win, but the better he's going to be playing.
Right. Well, he's got Tony's at the table here running 5 or 6 balls, and he's just got a few problems down on the low rail he's got to take care of. He's going to try and push his break ball out right here with the 15. Nice shot. He really doesn't have a key ball like a lot of players, Dallas West and so on, like to have a ball by the side pocket so you can just stop your cue ball and be in the middle of the table for that shot. But I don't see any problems getting on the 15 as long as he shoot. Oh, well.
8.
I thought he might go into those balls a little there.
Looks like he's going to have to go up for the 3 off the 14 unless he shoots the 7. But I think he's going to shoot the 14. It looks like he's going to have to go up for the 3 or the 13. Yeah, he has to be careful not to foul the 7.
Yeah.
9.
See, I like going ahead and getting on the 4 right now.
I'd have to shoot the 3 away. Any ball on the table now, with the exception of the 3, is probably pretty good to get onto the 15. So I'd
shoot the 3
away.
and then play position on the 4. That's what I like.
If the 7 passes, then he should play shape for the 13.
If the 7 passes, yeah.
10.
So now he can drop to the bottom cushion and make
Has
either
he
the
got
4
that
or
angle
the
to drop
7.
to the bottom cushion?
Yeah, I think he's got a decent angle. He's got options now, which ball he wants to choose to get onto the 15, and I don't think he's going to have much of a problem.
4 ball.
Oh, 7 doesn't pass. Oof.
He didn't get back far enough. That shot didn't look too good to me. He's going to have to go back down
2
table
cushions,
now.
yeah.
I don't like the
that's
way
no
he's hit
good.
that shot. He's going to lose his market.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's done. He's landed about straight in on the 15. And if he has an angle, I don't think it's very workable at all.
No, I wouldn't say he's a favorite to get much of a spread here if he does hit the balls.
Yeah, he got careless when he shot the 4. He could have stroked it a little
He got careless
better.
when he shot the 13. If the 7 didn't pass, he should have definitely stayed above the 4 a little, where he could get on the 7 a lot easier. Got a lot of good matches going on. Efren Reyes just eliminated Bobby Hunter from the tournament, and I'm sure he's building his confidence with every match. Efren.
A big confidence builder for Reyes is when he beats Siegel.
Sure, because that's his nemesis.
Oh, absolutely.
He told me that. I was in the
Absolutely.
Philippines a few months ago, and he said the only guy that I really don't like to play is Siegel.
He's looking to go 2 cushions into
And
the
catch
rack.
the 9. Oh.
difficult shot.
Yeah. See, that's what I was trying to touch on a little earlier with you, Billy, is I see some of them, like whenever I said Chin, he had the break shot, and I said the only way he can get a shot is to hit the 12. Well, I've seen a lot of straight pull tapes, and once it gets down to the finals, like that shot there, he could have pocketed that shot and played a nice safety, or pocketed and called safe and put him back on the back cushion.
Mm-hmm.
And you understand what I'm saying? Not really giving your man any air, giving your opponent. I understand you want to run balls, but you don't have to win a championship every match by running 80 or 90 or 100 balls.
But in his defense, Jeremy, you know, he trails in this match by about 35 balls. Not that that's insurmountable, but he's been playing so well. He understands his stroke, and he understands also his ability as we speak.
Oh, I'm
so
not.
So therefore, if he opts to shoot a shot like that, and he's a pretty good player in the terms of he uses good discretion when he's
Right.
at the table.
Right.
So I have to respect that. And for him to shoot that shot, I also would have to respect that because of who he is.
Well,
You
I'm
know?
not trying to specifically point out Tony Robles. I'm just talking about in general. I see some opportunities there where you're extreme underdog to break the balls, and when you try to break the balls, you make it where you may miss the ball you're shooting at.
Yeah, well, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that it applied in that case because I don't think he was an extreme underdog to break the balls and make the ball he was shooting at.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, because, you know, he broke the balls nicely.
Right.
He just missed the ball, and it's a ball that he probably should have pocketed a good 80-85% of the time with the speed that he hit it with.
Okay. Well, I just see a few different few different theories of play. Like I was watching Dick Lane's match over there. He's playing John Schmidt, and I believe it's John Schmidt. And
yes, it is.
He was down 75 to nothing, or 75 to -1 or 2. But he just sat there and grinded and grinded and grinded and waited till he got his shot. And then when he makes a mistake and gets out of line, he grinds and grinds and grinds again.
Well, are we
he's
talking
just-
about
he's
Dick
just-
Lane?
Right.
Well, Dick Lane may be one of the world's best grinders.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't say that Tony Robles or Chin or whoever, myself, can't be that good.
Hey, I'm not disagreeing with that.
See, and a lot of the reason why, I mean, Dick Lane's a talented pool player, but he doesn't probably have as much raw talent as Tony Robles.
Well, I've always thought that you leave the dance with who you brought.
But my point being, he has to grind to win a lot of matches.
Yes, I agree. Totally.
Whereas,
where Tony Robles has to go too cushion sometimes and break open the balls.
okay, but what I'm saying is, if he had that aspect of the game, well, then it would be really awesome to watch him play.
Yeah.
Well, it's awesome anyway.
He's not doing too bad right
No,
now.
he's not. He's doing a lot better than I am. I was just.
And by the way, when you mentioned that about shooting, if you will, low percentage shot just to sustain the run.
The combination?
What about that combination?
Well, that was my first straight pool match, Bill. But I've learned a lot since.
You certainly have. You seem very adamant about shooting those low percentage shots now.
I am. Don't worry, I am. I'm going to practice. If I get a chance to play in this next year, I'm going to practice, and I'm going to have a good shot to win this event. I'm going to practice.
Well, you're definitely a fast learner, and you're a very determined player. You definitely have all the skills in your arsenal. And I look for you to play in this event next year and do better, naturally. And if you continue to learn at the pace that you're learning, you know, you're going to be just as dangerous as anyone on the floor. In the meantime, Mr. Robles is at the table. He's going to run a 12.
6-4.
And should be 14. And with a nice break, I don't see any problems here, even though last time at the break shot, he got a little out of line. But this is a lot easier shot. He's just going to follow with 2 cushions with a little running English and get just about parallel with the ball. About like that.
14.
He doesn't want to go too much further.
Mr. Robles is on a run of 14, shooting the 3-ball.
Rolando Alavino is our referee for the feature match.
Good player.
And he seems to be the feature table referee quite often. I noticed that, you know, so obviously he must be a top level referee as
Right.
well.
And he I don't know if he's from Brooklyn or not either, like Tony, but Tony's definitely a crowd favorite, and I'd like to see a good close match here, or someone run a lot of balls. I think the crowd would like it.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
the crowd's a little yancy for someone to run 150 and out.
If you really know Tony Robles, you have to root for him, regardless of where he's playing, because he's such a gentleman and a genuinely nice guy. And
he wanted me to say hi to his son Jonathan and his family here in New York City. So I asked him before the match. I told him I'd be commentating, and he said, he's well, he might have gotten 4.
I think he can hit the 4. I'm not sure.
No, he can't. He can't make the 4. And he might be able to do a subtle masse on it. It's not too tough a shot.
I was really surprised to see Tony miss a shot like that, and the margin that he missed it by is also surprising.
That's why the rack ends up so far with 11, 12, 3, and 9. The 3 came over and pushed all those balls. That's how far he missed the ball.
He really had a great opportunity to work himself back into this match. You know, the break ball was really ideally positioned. I thought that he was going to do well. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you know.
Well, he lost his concentration a little bit, and we'll see if he gets another opportunity here. But Chin, he's been pretty solid with his last 2 matches. Once he got opportunity, he didn't make many mistakes. And when he did make some mistakes, he got out of them, ran the balls, got out of some jams.
The balls are spread fairly nicely over the table. He's a nice break ball in the 5.
Yeah, he's got to clean some alleys out. He's got to open up what he's going to do is shoot the 8, then the 1, shoot the 2, open the 3, and 11, and so on.
You know, he really even doesn't have to open the 3, 9,
He doesn't, but
because
I didn't like that selection there.
I didn't like it because he got out of line on the 6.
And I didn't see the 6 being as big a problem as he thought.
No,
I didn't like that.
That only congested things more.
Right.
And set him up table.
And he had to know the cue ball was going past the middle of the table. Now he's got a little bit of a shot. It's not too tough, the 15, but he's got a lot more work cut out for him. I've been talking to a lot of the good straight ball players about little tips here and there, and they always told me, make sure you clean the pockets.
Yeah, you got to clean the pocket.
Yeah, you
can go into the balls.
Right. And before you re-break the balls again, you have to have your alleys open.
Right. Oh, he landed on the 10 ball nicely, which actually opened up the door, because now he's on to 3, and he's going to shoot the 11.
Yeah, but this rack could have been a lot more difficult if he had one little turn of the cue ball this way or one little turn of the cue ball that way.
The combination is the shot I would shoot if it laid good.
Where the 3's not really going to
where
budge.
I could control the 3 ball.
Right.
Which he could, and obviously did.
He's going to shoot the 3 here. Then the 2. Oh.
10.
He's going to probably come up, shoot the... He's got a few selections. He'd probably shoot 14, 13, 15, 5.
That's not the way he's going. What is he going to do? Use the 13 for the break ball? I don't know.
No, he's going to use the 5 as the break.
I don't know. He's going to use the 13 for the break. Or the 15. He's going to use the 15 for the break.
Right, but I like the 5 better, I thought. But with the key balls he had, the 15's fine.
14 ball.
For you players out there, they say you leave that little triangle with your last 3 balls, right, Bill?
I don't know. I'm not a player. You're asking the wrong guy.
14.
Yeah, you're right. Correction.
Shooting the 15 ball.
We got some good matches going on. We have, let's see. Well, we have Robles and Chin right here on the feature table. We got Eileen Pippin and Karen Kaur, 2 of the top women players. Jennifer Chin and Vivian Villarreal, another 2 of the top women players. And then the man who put me out of this event this afternoon, Toda from Japan.
Oh, he's
and
really
he's
playing
playing
well.
Johnny Archer. And everybody who knows anything about pool knows who Johnny Archer is. You know, Johnny's had a 150-point run here in the U.S. Open. There's only like 4 or 5 of them. I think Siegel has 2 though.
Johnny's a tough man, you know. He's really a formidable player, and he's really a tough man. You never can count Archer out.
See, like here, I like coming one rail off the top of the stack to the middle. See, that's no good to me. Too many bad things can happen. See how the 4 covers the side? See, Rimpy, I saw Rimpy, he always shot the shot. I'll show it next time when I know the break shot's going to come up again.
9 ball.
Minway leads in the match. Before the balls were broken, that is. It was leading 71 to 26. Now he leads 73 to 26. The 6 ball is a good ball to get out of the way. It opens up the pocket for the 10 and the 13. That
Sure.
needs to shoot the 10. Looks like that was a possible break ball.
17.
Well, I'm not going to, with the 5, 1, and 2 right here clustered up, you know you're going to be opening. If the, I mean, I would try to leave the 10, but I'm not concerned with that right there. I guess, well,
18.
He's going to open it with the 3, it looks like. He's going to shoot the 12, playing shape for the 3.
no, playing shape for the 13 probably. And then playing shape for the 3. You might do that, yeah.
19.
But that distance, you know, it's an easy
3
shot.
ball.
Probably get a break right here with the 5. The 5 might, or the 1. All kinds of balls might come up, right?
20.
He left the 4 for a safety valve when he broke him, or the 13.
Now is a good time to shoot the 13 on the side, providing it's not that difficult of a shot. Drop down for the 7 and open up the balls off the 7, the 2 and 14, that is.
He may not even have to open them. He probably does. I don't like this shot. You like this shot, Billy?
Well, I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he
He's
trying to
just
open up the ball here?
Yeah.
He's trying to open up the ball. He's ran into the 10 ball.
Which was his premier break ball.
Yeah, that was a
21.
mistake. And let's see if he can recover now.
Yeah, I didn't care for that. I didn't see that 8 really being a problem either, and there were a lot easier shots on the table.
He's going to open the balls up now. That was the way I would have opened them up.
22.
Off the 13, I would have dropped down there before and done that because the 5 ball was there for an insurance ball.
Sure.
5 ball.
I'm kind of curious. Looks like he's going to use the 1 for the break ball.
23.
I like the 4, 10, 14, 13, and then 2 because the 13 is a good lead ball to the 2.
ball.
Sure. Yeah, but the 1 is really, he had a few opportunities to get a better
24.
break ball than the 1.
Well, he didn't do it, and this is the way it is. So it looks like
Right.
he's going to have to deal with what he has, and it looks like the 1 should be at least his break ball. Now he's going to shoot the 14 and then stop for the 13,
25.
stop for the 2.
14 ball.
Wow.
I don't understand.
I don't understand moving the
really
cue ball
do
like that. He doesn't like to shoot balls up in the corner.
You know, all they do is
top.
stop.
Yeah.
It looked like it, you know.
He's,
So-
he's going to miss cue on one of those shots one of these days. And
And it was so important to get the right angle on the
right.
2.
So, I mean, he's nevertheless probably going to be okay anyway, but guaranteeing
2 ball.
success is pretty nice.
Absolutely. Why play position when you already have
Right.
it?
Don't fix anything that isn't broke.
28.
Well, he's run 28 balls, and
But this is a test or break shot to get any speed here. He has to shoot this ball kind of hard, and again, makes it where he could possibly miss the ball. I don't expect him to miss it, but
well, on the angle that he has for this break ball,
he'll
the
probably
one,
just brush the bottom of the pack and open 4 or 5 up.
well, what I was referring to is the 1 is so close to the side cushion that
Sure.
you're not really shooting into a full pocket.
Right.
If the 1 was closer to the stack, naturally the pocket will be larger.
Right.
So therefore, since the 1 is closer to the left-hand rail than he wanted it, the pocket now plays smaller, and he's going to have to hit it with a little more velocity, which will in turn make the pocket play even smaller.
Right.
So therefore, this is not an automatic ball right here. He's going to be careful.
Yeah, that's all. See, well, he would shoot this ball in and just brush open 4 or 5 balls and come down here to the low rail. Let's see if he tries to. It's easy to get stuck.
Looks like he has the 8, Jeremy.
29.
Yeah, but it's hard to.
8
I mean,
ball.
don't get me wrong. I would have probably shot the ball the same way. But until you have learned what Mike Siegel and them kind of guys know about brushing that stack open and working from there, what it does is it guarantees you a shot, and if you do get where you can't run many balls, it's an easy safety pattern. I mean, if he come away with a shot right there, no shot right there, he would be in serious trouble.
I think that's one of the main ingredients when you play straight pool is know how to break and open up the balls. I think is really a crucial part of the game is understanding how to go into the pack, what speed, what ball to try to hit, what angle you have, and what you have to do off of that angle. I think that Pat Fleming, I believe, has a tape out that explains most of that. It's really a good tape.
You have a one pocket tape out, right, Billy?
But that's one pocket, you know. And
right, but I'm saying, how's the tape going? I haven't actually seen the tape yet.
Well, actually, I bought a home in the
34.
In France on the Riviera off of that tape. It was a pretty good seller.
And you didn't send me a copy? I'm really upset.
14 ball. 35. 15 ball.
What do you see here for a break? The 4 or the 10, right? You leave those two for last.
I would rather use the 4 for the...
Yeah, but that's the beauty of those two balls. You leave those two for last, and whichever one you fall on for the key ball, then you can play from there.
Yeah, but if I had a preference, I understand what you're talking about. I would leave the 4 because of that very fact that I brought up before, that the 4, you're shooting into a larger pocket.
Right, that's the best scenario you can have. If those balls were 2 inches lower, both of them, and sitting along the same lines, wow.
37.
That's the best scenario you can ask for, because you can, and maybe a hair closer to the side rail. Because then you play position, and whichever one you fall on the best for the key ball, well, then you shoot. And you have a break ball for both.
It's always nice to have an option
right.
of which break ball you want to
and the great thing about that is you don't, if you have a break ball on either side of the rack, well, you have to move the cue ball a lot further and so on and so forth. But with both balls being on the same side of the rack, that's a nice option. I'm sure he has intention to play the 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if he fell on and played the 10.
40.
I don't think it's going to happen, but
7 ball.
middle of the table is where he wants to be.
yeah.
That's good position now. He's in perfect shape to play the 10. He'll play shape for the 4. Good speed once again.
42.
He's on a run of 42 now, so therefore he has been able to run and make some runs in this match.
And he's playing consistent straight pool. I mean, he's gotten a few breaks that Tony has had a few mishaps, but he's running 40 and 50 every time he gets to the table. You know, 30 or 40, 50.
And the score certainly reflects that. He's in the lead 99-26. Robley's, on the other hand, you know, he's done a couple of things I didn't expect him to do, and certainly has cost him.
That miss on the 3-ball break, I think that's what started this run, and it might seal his fate if things open up for Chen here. Here's another shot. He could go off the 15.
Yeah, I like it for him. Well, he hit the second ball and went back down the table.
Right. But instead of going downward, I see all the straight pool players, Rimpey and Siegel, when they have that top ball, they always come back to the center of the table.
Yeah, but they use a different type of a stroke. They don't draw that ball.
They
because
punch.
If they draw
They hit center
exactly.
English.
Yeah, they punch it over. That way, they don't run the risk of scratching in the side. Once you shoot that, when you shoot that shot and you draw it, then you run the risk of going off the top of the stack,
right,
scratching in the side,
or being planted on the Brunswick up there on the middle of the end rail. He's got the 14, and really, if he's got an angle, he can really go into the pack here because he's got a few. I don't see how he can't come away with a shot. Go right into the 12. He could go up table though. Well,
I think that's smart playing. He didn't want to lose the cue ball.
No. I thought he might have been able to play a hair more firm though. He's got a little work here.
Yeah, he's got a little work.
And again, he's got the 9-10 over there for the end of the rack, just as he did last time.
I like shooting the 7. Oh, the 7 won't go on the side, will it?
No.
The 10's there. I didn't see him, and the referee's right in front of me, so.
7 ball.
Oh, he is shooting the 7.
Yeah, that sort of like
Yeah,
clears
that
up a lot
opens
of
everything.
stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that clears up a lot of stuff. Now, you know, he can shoot the 3 in the corner if he chooses and open up the 8. Or he can just
I
go
don't
another.
like that.
Well, you know, it's a big pocket up there.
Right, but at this point in time, I don't like. I think he'll find better options. I think if he got the 2 out of there, shoot the 13. Oh.
The 8 also goes in the lower right-hand corner, and that opens up a lot. Once the 8's gone, then the table will be much wider open.
Right. I don't think it passes the 5. Does it?
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
It's tough. We're
Yeah,
going to
he's
find
ended up a
out.
little
But maybe
short
the
there.
15-3 is a
No,
good combination.
this is the shot here. He's gonna.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 15-3.
He's gonna get on one of those balls over here, whichever one he likes, and then shoot the 12 and open the 5-8. No? Or
Well,
is that too
looks like,
steep?
that looks like a possibility. So let's take a look and see what he's looking at.
I think if he just draws the cue ball back, maybe, or even stops it and plays one of the other 2 balls, the 9 or 10. That's a good shot. Now he's got the 12.
50.
He can just rub off both 2 balls, or just go straight into the. I like kind of rubbing them. Be honest with you.
I like stroking it here,
Right.
making sure you get away from that cluster.
Right, come off the 5 and 8, or just the 8. See, I was worried about getting stuck to the 8. If he hits the 5 full and freezes to the 8, he may not end up with a shot. I mean, it'd have been unfortunate, but
15 ball.
I like the 8 ball for a break ball. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't do that.
maybe so. Well, if he,
52.
yeah, the 8's quite a bit closer to the
yeah,
rack.
I can see the pattern developing now. That he's going to use the 3 for the lead ball to the 8. He should
Right.
come across the table and shoot either the 10 or the 9.
Right.
53.
He's playing well.
10 ball.
You know, if he can get on the 9 fairly straight, all he needs to do is draw it back an inch or
Yeah,
so.
with these pockets, he's going to be so close to it, he'll be able to hold the cue ball however he likes. Even if he's got a hair of an angle, he'll be able to pinch the cue ball.
Yeah, I like what he did. He walked around the table and he took a look at the angle that he needed to be on coming off the 3. You know,
Right.
that's playing really meticulously, and that's what I really liked about what he did, making sure that this is the crucial angle. Now I need to get nicely for the 8. That's what he did.
And he's getting in a position where he can, you know, pretty much put the match away with just no careless maneuvers, you know.
Once again, Jeremy, he's run now 56 balls in addition to whatever he ran before. I think it was 50-some plus.
Right.
So therefore, that's 2 innings that were very productive, and this one's not even over.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has any 100-ball runs in his previous matches, but I know he's had plenty of 50s and 60s and 40s, 50s and 60s, and that'll win a pool tournament if you do that consistently.
Well, it should at least, but once again, when you're playing in a tournament that has tables with this pocket sizes as large as these, you're going to need to put in a couple hundreds every now and then to stay alive.
I don't know about that. If you can do that, you know, it's hard to do every time you get an open shot, but if you can do it 90% of the time, I can't see how you won't be one of the top 3 favorites in the event.
Well,
Someone told me every time I got an open table with a clean shot that I was going to run 40, 50, or 60. They could keep all those 100-ball runs. I'll take it.
11 ball.
You wouldn't?
Well, I can understand that. I'm not going to argue with that point.
I don't see Robles getting back to the table this unless it's just a miss. Do you?
Well, you never can tell here.
You never can tell. I mean, I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see both players play.
I would like to see Robles get back to the table and redeem himself.
Sure.
Because he hasn't played that well this match. He's made a few mistakes that I didn't think he was going to make.
Right.
And I know he's playing much better than that. At least he's been playing better than that up until this point of the tournament.
Yeah, he's got all the balls open here. He's falling a little straight on this. I think he's probably just going to. He's just going to get back up on the 3 or the 5.
61.
Take care of them rail balls.
I think he should move something now, but go into the, he's going to shoot the 5. I think he's going to shoot the 3
Yeah, he's
and
going
move
to
the
open
1.
up the 6 ball pocket. He doesn't want to have to wait on that.
62.
I think he should move the 1 here.
And then have the 12 in the side.
Yeah, well, he's going to reposition the 1, maybe even create a break shot off of it. Like that.
Right.
Now,
He'd shoot the 15.
that'd be a nice ball to shoot, the 15.
And then if he could fall, I don't know if he would want to take that much of a cut on the 13 after shooting the 15.
13's a problem ball.
Yeah. Although he's going to figure it out. You can see that he's not being hasty.
He can draw it back. He's going forward.
Yeah, he's going forward. Yeah, you got it perfect. You got where you can reach it with no problem. You can shoot it, come out 2 cushions, have the 10 for sure. He's probably going to want to fall on something else.
I'd go toward the 12 here. It was hard
Right.
enough to hit it.
I don't know about hard enough to hit it. Yeah, he's fine.
65. 4 ball.
What's the score here, Billy? The score is
66.
okay. You started this rack with a 120, so he needed 30 from the beginning of this rack.
67.
Well, he's got to kind of pinch the cue ball a little here, right, Billy?
I don't know. From our vantage point, sometimes it's hard to tell.
No, he wanted to bump it, I think.
Yeah, well, he didn't hurt anything, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got to roll the 9.
9 ball.
He's got to get a little angle here. I'd probably stay above this rather than flirt with getting straight in. Ooh. Didn't expect him to go up table there, did you?
Not really. I thought he could shoot the 12 there. I was surprised to see him shoot the 9, but obviously he didn't have a good angle on the 12. Maybe he didn't want to shoot over the 1. But this is fine. All he's going to do is draw the ball back about 5 inches. He's going to the side rail, which is just as well.
Yeah.
He's run 70 balls, and I don't think he needs too many more to win the match.
No, he needs 23.
Score is
He needs 23, and not that
Mr. Robles won.
Not that
Mr. Robles,
Tony
26.
Robles has played poorly. He just made a couple mistakes, and Chin has taken full advantage of it.
Yes, he has. Matter of fact, I can only remember 1 ball Chin has missed in this match that he shouldn't have missed.
At the
That was the
beginning,
ball on the side.
Remember the first rack, he made a mistake, and then Tony made a mistake right back.
Well,
It was a fluke mistake. It might have been the ball on the side you were regarding to.
in the meantime, he's on a run of 76 balls. And like Jeremy says, he only needs 23. He wouldn't be surprised to see him run out. And he's playing really smoothly, so I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I don't, even with the balls closer a little here, I don't see any problems. I mean, he's going to figure it out. Of course, the 3, I mean, looks like the 3's the shot, but I think that, personally, I believe almost the 9 is the shot.
7 ball.
I see a lot of them good players, they like to break from the side of the rack. He's going forward.
72.
The reason why I like maybe the 9 there, just because I could leave the 7 as a safety valve. Where I don't see the 3 really having the safety valve. Do you?
Or are you referring to the preceding shot? He should have shot the 9 to break him. I didn't see anything wrong with that either.
No, I didn't see anything wrong with it at all.
I thought it was a good opportunity for him.
He's going to draw into it. Oh, he's coming up. I think he likes the 9 too, but he's fallen in the same spot. And the reason why I did like the 9 the first shot, because the 7 was a safety valve. Didn't see any way to get in trouble.
Yeah, this is kind of curious why he's doing what he's doing. Now he's really putting all his eggs in one basket now. He's got to get positioned now for the break.
And
9 ball.
unless I didn't. he could get stuck here and not come away with a shot.
Well, he doesn't really have that much. He has the 12 in the upper corner. If the 11 passes the 6, he figures to be kind of okay.
Right, but he definitely didn't have to be okay. I wouldn't even be looking at the 4-6 here. I think if the 11 passed, I'm gonna shoot the 12.
But don't forget the 10 ball is blocking the cue ball, a portion of the cue ball that he really needs to see to sight the shot. So he might hit this poorly because of that reason.
This is about the only rack that I really didn't agree with what he was doing.
Yeah, I didn't really understand why he did what he did as well. But nevertheless, looks like he's going to get through it.
Yeah, it's hard to second guess it. If he hits the 4, hits the 15, opens the balls.
Well, that was weird, but the 10 ball was available.
Yeah, the 3's available too, possibly.
Well, the 3 looks like a break ball.
Yeah.
10 ball.
10, he must get the 10 out of there, that's for sure. That's a real bad looking ball on the table.
Yeah, he's fine.
79.
79 he's on, and
10 ball.
doesn't need many more. Well, he's hit that a smudge.
Did the 6 pass?
I think he was trying to get on the 4 or the 13, and he snookered himself on the 2, the 4, and the 13, and I don't believe the 6 passes.
Well, if that's
he's
the
put
case,
himself in a predicament
if that's
here.
the case, then I'd say that this might be the end of his run. Oh, he's trying to possibly force something here. Is Robles on a scratch, or is he?
4 ball.
I don't believe so. I believe Robles missed the 3. He's playing the 3-4 off the 6.
Looks like a kiss shot he's playing here.
Yeah, he's playing a combination billiard into the corner pocket. Wow, what a shot.
Well, evidently he understands a lot about the game.
Sure.
You know, to come up with a shot like that and hit it.
And didn't waste much time.
As nicely and really without much decision. You know, he was undecided what he needed to do, and he just realized what was available, and he went ahead and did it.
Right.
But I don't know how the 13 sits. It doesn't look like either ball, the 13 or the 3, is available to break the balls with.
Maybe the 2. He might break with the 2, Billy.
Well, it's almost.
It's a little touchy, but I mean, I think it's very feasible. Of course, he's going to follow this or punch it. He's going to punch it one rail. Yeah. Oh, he might have overcooked it here.
83.
I don't know. It looks like it's pretty straight on the 13. Now he's going to have to go to the other pocket.
He doesn't want to do that.
No, too much distance there from the 2 to the other pocket, and still expect to break open the balls.
This is the type of shot that Efren would be good at. He would shoot this 13 and come follow with 2 cushions inside English and just run past the 2 and shoot the ball on the left. Oh, what a shot.
Now he's going to be over top of the stack.
Which isn't a problem, I don't think.
Well, it's not going to help matters. In the meantime, he's run 84 balls, and now he only needs like 9 balls.
Yeah.
The score is Mr. 141, Mr. Robles.
Yeah,
26.
he needs 9, and I think he was fortunate a little bit that rack, and probably deservedly so. I mean, he's played all the other racks so well. Over here, Johnny Archer's on a run of 83, and he leads against Mr. Toda from Japan. He leads 115 to 24. I'll tell you, they shouldn't let Johnny build his confidence in this, the rest of the players, because he's definitely a threat to win the event, even from the one-loss side.
Oh, no, there's no question about it. Johnny's a real competitor, and it doesn't matter what game he's playing. He proved that, I believe it was in 1995 when he played in the World Straight Bull Tournament, winning that event.
Oh, he's fortunate here to have the 8, I think. I don't think that was a definite possibility when he was breaking the balls. Do you?
No, but he doesn't seem real happy with it. I don't know if he can make the 8.
It's a hanger across corner, but he's not going to be shooting across corner. And not really, he is banking it. He doesn't waste much time.
You know, I really like the way he plays because he doesn't talk himself out of things. You know? I mean, if he feels that he can do something, then he just goes ahead and does it. You know, some players feel that they may be able to do something, but then they decide, I don't know, I guess the percentages, this, you know, and then they have a battle with themselves, and they end up not doing well.
Sure. You have to use your talent. That's a big part of the game.
I like his aggressiveness. He proved it now twice, banking the 8 and also playing that kiss shot that when he was frozen to the ball.
Right. And like I said at the beginning of the match, I really like his demeanor at the table. And he just plays the game. It looks like he's enjoying himself too. I think that's the one thing I found about pool that's really helped my game in the last couple of years is I've really just tried to enjoy myself.
Well, what he looks like is he looks like he's a very composed young player.
Right.
You know, and nothing seems to rattle him. You know, I mean, his judgment is pretty much the same all the way through the match. It's not impaired as much or often as other players, and he's relatively young, and he's really using that well.
Right.
He's got very good composure.
Yeah, and he, I think he was playing for 9 before the wreck started, and there's 4 and 5, 6. He needs 3. So looks like it's going to be.
Well, Robles really was playing well prior to this match. He made a couple mistakes in this match, and you really can't discredit him for that because he's been playing so well.
Right.
But against Chin, you know, that's all he needed to make because Chin really took control of the match just about from the offset.
Yeah, anyone could have made those couple of mistakes, and it would have been the same scenario.
Yeah, and actually, this is the first time I've had first opportunity I've had a chance to watch Chin play, and like you said, you know, he's a real strong player. I like the way he plays. I like his demeanor, I like his composure, and I think he's going to go a long way in the tournament. It looks like.
Sure, and he wins by a final of 150 to 26, and don't count Tony Robles out. That's only his first loss, and he'll be back tomorrow, and I'm sure he's got plenty to prove here in his hometown.
Yeah, well, he's a proud man, and I'm certainly sure he's going to come back and redeem himself.
Sure.
Because he's got a lot of heart as well.
Yeah, he does.
I don't believe we're going to be doing an interview. Is that correct? No, we're not going to be doing an interview, so we're going to close it up.
You speak
Anyways.
Taiwanese?
Huh?
Really?
Well, actually, I went online and ordered a tape on that.
Oh, did you?
I'm practicing
right.
not as we speak, but you know, I have that tape at home now. I downloaded it about a week before I left.
Oh, okay. Are you computer literate there, Billy?
Yeah, I've made quite a few bad investments in the stock market with my computer.
Well, I've enjoyed it, Billy, and thanks.
Yeah, I also have enjoyed it. Grady, I was going to say Grady, I'm having a nightmare.
Oh, boy.
Jeremy. And thanks a lot, Jerry, for stopping up and visiting with us here at Akistat. It's been a pleasure.
Sure.
Okay, on behalf of Jeremy Jones, this is Bill in Kedona saying thanks a lot.